Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Tameka Citchen-Spruce.
On January 25th, 1985, I was born a healthy baby girl. 5.5 months later, my mom told me that my dad dropped her off at work. Shortly after, she felt something wasn't right and received a call no mother would ever want to get. The doctors told her that I was in a really bad car accident, and my dad fell asleep behind the wheel and crashed into the back of a garbage truck. I was very badly injured. When my mom got there, she saw, and the doctors told her, that my ribs were smashed and my lung was punctured. She fell down and cried in the hospital. Now, when my parents took me home, I had a really high fever, and they noticed I wasn't moving my legs anymore. So when they took me back to the hospital, the doctors told them that I had a T2 spinal cord injury for the mid-chest down and never be able to walk again. My parents returned home. My dad had a lot of guilt and received counseling. My mom had a lot of guilt and never received counseling. So with two people with a lot of anger, resentment, and feeling guilty, and two early 20-something-year-olds, my parents divorced. I lived with my mom and saw my dad on the weekends. Now, growing up as a little girl with a disability, I had a lot of fun. I went on roller coasters, saw Sesame Street live, and rolled around freely in my wheelchair. My mom told me, Tameka, God has a purpose for your life, and reinforced it by taking me to church. So everything was good until 6th grade, when I was mainstreamed with my peers. My peers started getting a little jealous of me because I won second runners-up in the citywide speech competition. So the course of the argument, they had one of my peers. One of them said, "You crippled freak." Crippled freak. I ran out of the classroom crying because that hurt my feelings. That was strike one against my being. Now, going into junior high school, I started liking boys, but it never seemed to like me back. And my peers used to like to call me Po High, which meant I was mentally challenged. But I always wondered, how can I be Po High when I'm in the same classroom as you? But anyway, Po High actually is a special ed classification, which means you're physically challenged or otherwise health impaired. Mentally challenged is a totally different classification. But anyway, I was mainstreamed. So with boys not liking me and kids teasing me, that was strike two against my being. Now, in high school, I started liking this boy named Nick, and he started to like me back. So we started going out, as they like to say. But then one time in class, one of my friends came up to me and said, "Nick doesn't want to go out with you anymore. And the only reason he went out with me went out with you because he felt sorry for you because you was in a wheelchair." And I asked Nick, "Is this true?" And he said, "Yes." So I ran out of the classroom again, crying, and felt really hurt. So by the end of high school, my self-esteem was shot. I felt like I had no self-worth, no value. I would never be loved. I would never get married. I felt really bad about myself. But like I said, the only thing that kept me sane was going back to my faith and understanding that God did have a purpose for me and that I had to go and read scriptures like I'm wonderfully and fearfully made. Yes. And that I could do all things through Christ who strengthens me. But see, you can know something in your head, but it doesn't register with your heart. So that was me. So like I said, not having any boyfriend by the time I was getting out of high school and feeling like my beauty and my identity was based on my bra size, how big my butt was. And since I never really had a boyfriend, I felt like I wasn't attractive at all. So I went into college and I started dating this guy named Jad. And he was really crazy. Really crazy. He cussed his mother out all the time, slamming the door in her face. And then we'd just be talking on the phone, and all of a sudden you just hang up on me. And then don't answer his phone at all. I call that emotionally unavailable. Then I started dating this guy named Red. He was crazy too. He was 17 years my senior, and he was in prison for 17 years. And I just started dating him shortly after him being released. So he saw me as his one-way ticket to paradise. And he asked me, well, can you get me back on my feet? And he asked me to buy tattoo equipment and buy him a car. And I did. I didn't really feel good about myself. My standard of men was really low. But by that time, I was like 25 years old, going to school to get my journalism degree, owning a nonprofit organization, Women Empowered, and I was Miss Wheelchair Michigan 2006. So I was doing very well professionally. So I thought to myself, I need my personal life to measure up to my professional life. And if I'm going to be happy professionally, I got to be happy personally and find a man that's on the same level as me. So that's when I met Robert Jamal Spruce. Now, Robert, I met him at a disability committee that we were planning. And we became really great friends, laughing and joking in the meeting. And so Robert, he knew I was dating Red. And he took a liking to me. So he added me or asked me to be his friend on Facebook, emailed me from time to time, and we became really good friends. We saw each other by Divine Providence at the African Festival, and he took me home after an event, and it was really great. And so, but Robert wasn't my ideal person because he had a disability too. He has a mild version of cerebral palsy, but he was cute. So he was great. He, became good friends. He treated me well, had a job, had it going on. Had a bachelor's degree too from Eastern Michigan University with social work. So he asked me to go to a Maxwell concert. And I said, okay. I invited my best friend and Red to go along because I knew it wouldn't look right going with another guy. But Red couldn't go because he was broke. So like I said, he was broke. So we started hanging out every single day, and I started really liking him because, like I said, he had it going on. So I asked him, Robert, do you like me? Just to make sure, because people were telling me that he liked me. And he said, you know who's in the way, right? I said, yes. So I dumped Red that night. So we started dating afterwards. So you would think after that, after I met my knight in shining armor, everything would be great, right? Well, it actually wasn't. When we started dating, and then shortly, about a little bit less than a year, we got engaged. He put down $800 actually to get married here at the Charles Wright Museum. And so when I started, so when we started planning, I freaked out. I started so much anxieties. I was like on a computer typing pre-wedding jitters. I was sweating and I was hard breathing. And I even started listening to Wendy Williams. But Wendy Williams show, you know, the lady said, how you doing? She was saying, girls, don't get married till after you 30. Kiss a lot of boys, and because you really don't know what you want. I was listening to her. So I called off the wedding. Robert is a good man, so he stood next to me while I was going through the process. And I went to counseling, and I found out that my issue was feeling rejected from my childhood, from my youth. And that's what prevented me from getting married. But on August 20th, 2011, Robert and I got married. And now we've been married for going on 4 years, 5 years. And we have 2 children, Miles Bomani Spruce, that's 2, and Naima Imadi Spruce, that's 1. So through that whole process, I learned that your spouse can't be your sole happiness, and that you truly have to love yourself. And when Jesus said, love thy neighbor as thyself, that's really true. And I learned to love myself so that I could truly love Robert. Thank
you. Tameka Citchen-Spruce. Tameka. Inspiring.